Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be making a roasted butternut squash and kale salad, also featuring Brussels sprouts. I forgot to record an intro, so this is it. We're starting just with a basic butternut squash, so jump in, watch it, go get your stuff, and then cook with me, and make sure you're subscribed. I'll talk to you soon. So we're starting by just cutting the end off the butternut squash. Make sure you wash it and then cut it straight down the center. And then what you're going to start to do is scoop the seeds out. I actually like using a fork better than a spoon, but whatever works. When I'm cutting the squash, what I did was I cut it in half. I scooped out the seeds and then I left these pieces. And then make sure you guys have a really sharp knife. Otherwise, this will not be easy and you'd be more likely to, cut yourself. So I just cut the edges off of these pieces that didn't have the divot, that didn't have the scooped in part. This part I'm going to steam bake, meaning putting face down in water. And this part we're going to chop into same size cubes and roast. And this is what it looks like after I have it all chopped up. These are Brussels sprouts from my dad's garden, just like the squash is or was. And here's what I have to say about Brussels sprouts. So look at the size of these. They are little itty bitties, cute, right? When you buy Brussels sprouts in the store, I'm comparing it to the ones I buy at Costco, the organic fresh ones. They're probably, I would say, like this big. And the reason that matters as to how you cook them is how dense they are. So when I get the really large Brussels sprouts, I really like to do a quick steam on them. So you can either keep them whole. Okay, that was weird. I was like looking down, talking to you guys. I thought I would put the camera on my face. So we're talking about Brussels sprouts. So what I was saying was when you buy them in the store, it depends. So if you're like prepping for Thanksgiving and you're like looking for Brussels sprouts because Brussels sprouts are such a popular ingredient for recipes for this time of year. Where I usually get the Brussels sprouts is Costco, and I usually get them fresh and they're organic, and it's a really good product. I buy them on repeat. The ones in that bag are going to, like, look at these are little, so it really depends where you are getting your product from. This is like probably the biggest one in my batch here from the garden, and it's way smaller than the ones in the store. So when you have a bigger, denser vegetable like Brussels sprouts, it's going to take a longer cooking time, and so you want to kind of adjust how you're going to choose to prepare your recipes based on what you want, for the density. So when I buy the Costco ones, I like to do a quick steam, and I think I have a video I can link for you guys. You can keep them whole and just a quick steam. So don't like fully cook them if you're also going to roast them or air fry them, because then you'll overcook them. You don't want to do that. You want to keep them bright green. So less than you would typically steam them, like by a few minutes, or like fork tender. Now with these, I'm gonna roast them with my squash because they're little and because the squash just didn't produce enough. I only had one from my dad, and since I cut out the base part as well, there just wasn't enough quantity, and plus I'm just making up a recipe that has both because it's beautiful and colorful. So the reason I'm telling you this again is with these little guys, I'm just gonna cut off the bottom stem right by the stem and cut them in half. And some of them that are teeny tiny, like this, I am not doing anything to it. I mean, I washed it, but I'm just throwing it in because it's like bite size. So the thing with cooking, you want your ingredients, you want things you're roasting especially or cooking and chopping to be uniform so it looks aesthetically pleasing, and also so they cook evenly, okay? So that was the timeout about Brussels sprouts. Now look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So gorgeous. So I'm gonna show you literally the tiny amount of oil that I use on my vegetables. I do not like to consume oil, but when I'm roasting or baking something, I think it gives it a really nice flavor, and we're not sopping it on. We're not pouring it on. Don't pour the oil on. It's just for cooking and for flavor. So I like these. I buy these at Costco. Look, the only ingredient, avocado oil. So they're all chopped, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. Then I use real salt, sprinkle it on, and then I'm just gonna do a little bit of garlic and then toss it together and then put it in the oven at 400 Fahrenheit. This is what it looked like as it came out of the oven. I did stir it once or twice when it was roasting and turn the pan halfway through just so that the back of the oven tends to be a little bit hotter so the vegetables can cook evenly. So then I took some pre-chopped kale. I just got it at Trader Joe's pre-washed, and my Good Food cilantro dip. This is my healthy fast shortcut for you guys for this recipe. Put the roasted vegetables in a bowl to let them cool slightly, and then you can either leave the kale raw if you prefer, although kale can sometimes get a little bit crunchy. It's very roughage, right? And so you can also water saute it or just steam it for a quick minute, like really short amount of time if you want to soften it up. And then you'll mix it all together, toss it with the dressing, and stir it through in a bowl that you don't want to serve it in, because otherwise your bowl will just look messy for, serving your guests. So I put it in a large bowl, as you can see in the picture. Then I tossed it with the dip and added the kale, and I did water steam mine just a little bit to make it softer. And then I added raw organic hemp seeds to the top. You can add a pinch more of salt. I recommend real salt if you want to, but it does have flavors from when we roasted the vegetables. Remember that oregano and the garlic and the salt from before, so you don't need probably too much salt. But then put it in beautiful white dishes or whatever kind of dishes you like, and this can be a main course or it could be a beautiful side, especially as we're coming up on the holidays. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Please try it out, make it, tag me, share it, and make sure you're subscribed. I'll talk to you soon.